Hello and welcome everybody, or welcome back. This is the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. We're going to do a quick channel update and then move right into some cards for the day. As you can tell, it's outdoors and I love it, but today we have some gusty wind. Right now we're having a gust. You're going to hear a little bit of that over the microphone. I did test it and it seemed to hold out and not be too distracting. So I hope you'll forgive me, but that is likely to continue because it is a beautiful windy day. So anyways, as you can see in the background here, let me see if I can focus that in for you. Back here, right there, we have the creek. And so we've got some ducks out there. It won't let me there. So I'd love it if we could see that. But so anyways, the channel updates. I am not completely positive that I will not be coming down with some type of cold over the next few days. My child has just opted to come home from school because she's got something. So here we go. Yeah, in the last few days, I know I was quite busy last week. So going into today's message, we have the first few popping out, but they're face down. So I'm not getting any teaser peeks right now. But being that it's a windy day, I always bring out some gemstones to hold down the cards and popping into my head. And I don't know why I waste any energy doubting my own intuition at this point. I think this is a message for those of us that are doing the same type of a thing. When I go to grab something, the little so-called voice in my head that says a thing needs to be honored. And to a certain extent, this voice jumps in and says, like I'm choosing between, I've used soda light and rose quartz recently. And I was thinking, oh, I could just grab one of those. It's fine. And then my voice says, oh, but you need something protective today. That's the energy that wants to come in. And I kind of glanced at the serpentine. I was like, oh, but that would be great. And I thought, well, but is it protective? And I looked at the labradorite, which has that darker tone. And I thought, meh, not that one today. And I was drawn to the serpentine. And I said, you know what? Maybe I've forgotten, and maybe that is the perfect one. So I sat down, got my space created for the reading, and I did a quick look up, and I couldn't find the website I like looking at. The Crystal Vaults meaning website didn't seem to come up on my browser right away. So I picked another one, and it was talking about how serpentine, let me give you a little glance at this. These are the pieces I have for today. We can see some various color combos here. It's gorgeous. Anyways, it was talking about how that it resembles snake skin and the shedding of the snake skin, talking about how our own inner spiritual growth and wisdom is ongoing, and that periodically we need to shed this snake skin. But then it was also talking about its protective qualities. As I looked up, it was 3:33 on the timer. That's why I smiled there. It's talking about protection from the snakes in the grass, or if you feel like you have any type of predators lurking nearby. So in the moment when I just said that, I was thinking like financial wolves at the door, or some type of any type of undermining energy that tries to steal your peace, or to manipulate, or any energy that wants to take your blessings and even block your blessings, except that they would be funneled to them. I know that sounds quite negative going into this reading, but there's a reason for these. And I'll say also, I have this homemade deck. Oh, there's a great big daddy long leg here on the thing. I'm just going to redirect this guy someplace else. Okay, maybe not. No, you're not going to come into the reading today. Thank you. You've had your close-up. All right, I think I got that guy taken care of. The joys of being outdoors in the country. So I have this homemade deck, and to prop up my phone, I just grabbed a stack of them and tucked them behind. And I thought, it's interesting. I wonder which ones they are, and maybe we'll take a look at those later. But there are a few here that didn't quite fit behind, and the couple separation, take time for self-alignment, and repressed. So this so-called snake in the grass energy may be an energy that you've taken some time away from to understand why there's some element of either your identity or some element of your emotional well-being, any sense of feeling that satisfaction or freedom to be yourself. Like if you're in a position where suddenly you're kind of feeling like you just can't be yourself, like this sometimes comes across as when we have certain individuals that we need to spend time with, like somebody in the office, somebody that is in the home, guests or something, and this individual comes across with a more negative mindset, but then they present themselves in one way, happy, content, friendly, loving, and peaceful, but then around their energy, your intuition, there with that wind kicking up, your intuition says something quite different. They may be that type of individual who would tell you that either it's all in your head or that you're imagining, or it's actually you that's feeling this way. They're happy. Look at them. They've been smiling the whole time. But energy doesn't lie. And those of us tuning in here, we are the masters of energy reading, let's face it. And those individuals who don't believe in energy reading think that they're smarter than us. And so we need to be diligent and steadfast in guarding our energy from being suppressed or repressed, or our intuition being gaslit into being like, oh, that's all just in your mind. You're making that up. You're paranoid. You're nervous. You're suspicious. Suspicion comes through for many reasons, sometimes just to bring up old energy, but you know what you know. And so let's see, repressed and taking time for self-alignment. Music may be coming across as something quite healing for you, that's reminding you either of your own strength or of the various things. Like music can be so primal in that way. And the songs that come across your playlist or across your mind or across the radio in any type of a way they can really hit us in a different way when we're thinking about something different. It's like, has that lyric always been there before? Um, there may be a Taurus in your midst. You may have some prominent Taurus placements. And this can also talk about the Uranian urge to create that more liberated self identity. And so if you are being loyal to yourself versus loyal to those who would repress your energy, I think that you're needing to take some time apart and witness how this has been allowed in your energy field, and to take a chance to take that separation and that self-alignment so that you can tune in to your heart space. And there's been a bit of an emotional deficit that's been coming through for several different individuals in recent times that is talking to us about our emotional needs. And when they're not being met, it's being called to our attention. So I feel like there may be somebody kind of creeping on your energy here, especially to do with the moon type energy, somebody who doesn't show themselves quite completely, if you know what I mean, kind of trying to creep back into your home space, into your heart space, drawing you back out into conversation, saying they miss you, they miss your touch, they miss what you guys had together. They're even looking at your pictures, maybe looking at you online with that creeping card. But yeah, they're really going to try to get a reaction from you in the coming time. And then we have the initials U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, which are no mistake. Those are confirmations for a few of you, and especially the fact that those are the more random letters, maybe somebody's initials. But yeah, you're setting new trends. You're leading the charge in some way, taking back a lot of your power. Maybe you've been in that entrepreneurial spirit for some time, and there have been those who have been coattailing on your ideas in the workplace, or, individuals who love to be associated with you but don't have an inkling of what it's all about type stuff. People that are kind of copycat energy. I just saw 1010, which is a constant for me to see that. I don't know if you're somebody who's really with that 1010, an entrepreneur. You're the benchmark that other people are reaching for. And when somebody here, the creeping snake in the grass here, they try to seem like they're your leader, but you're the trendsetter, and that's why others are attracted to your energy. And I think that makes them uncomfortable because they don't have the same type of glamour or charisma or instantaneous likability that you have, because they're not genuine and you are. So the wheel of the year is turning, exposing those who would wear a mask or hold a front with you. And there's new romantic adventures on the horizon for you within the next 48 hours. Frenemies will possibly be exposing themselves. You won't have to probably do a thing because you're coming up with the GOAT card, the greatest of all time. You are highly protected and favored by the divine. And somebody's having an awakening, a huge wake-up call in regards to that. Those were the cards that didn't fit behind the camera. And the three of the archetypal deck that are popping off first, let's see, they are, the riddle, the womb, and the lover. Beautiful. So the riddle is like a mystery that you are vetting out. Something has had you confused, learning some type of spiritual lesson, or somebody was almost speaking in types of circles around you, hoping to just keep you distracted from pursuing your entrepreneurial greatness here and that charisma. It's like maybe some of those individuals in our lives have maybe tried to isolate or partition us off from recognition of some type of personal power or validation from others. It could happen in multiple different ways. But the womb card here shows me that you are a huge co-creator, and this is highly threatening to those that don't know how to tap into their inner creativity, which comes through the authenticity and ingenuity, which is somebody's genius coming through their genuine authenticity and becoming exponential. That's where we are in our creative matrix. And with this lover card, you really shine bright. This is that charisma, and it's because of your ingenuity and your generous authenticity. I just want to say again that others are attracted to you. You shine brightly. And so if this individual were to have succeeded in pulling you into confusion, it lowers your vibration and has you over here fighting battles that you don't even belong in because they're so false. And so with this separation, there comes your heart space back front and center, and you're like, oh yeah, this is who I am. It's almost like, unbeknownst to us, there was so much different chaos and confusion that was kind of being shoveled at our feet, and we were trying to be over here still doing our thing and still giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. But until we were really able to exact that separation, we didn't realize how much influence something had over us. And this has been a message coming out for people ongoing this year, and probably for a longer period for many of us. This may be a bigger soul lesson, but you're really, coming back into your full potential and power. And this is attracting a lot of opportunities, a lot of romantic adventures. There are individuals who have been waiting for you to free your energy up so that you would come back into who you were. It's like they miss the people that are the good ones. They miss your energy, and maybe you're just now starting to come back out and reach back out to your friends, and they're like, yeah, I haven't seen you in a minute. What's been up? So underneath the deck here, we've got the warrior for a reason. So if somebody's bringing you into their conflict energy, I sense that this is an ongoing lesson that really teaches you how to have your own back. That was another thing that's reminding me of that article about the serpentine. It's talking about how serpentine is so protective. It is the universal forces that have always, just below the surface, been keeping us highly protected in our energy, in our vibe. And even when others will try to get at us and confuse us and lead us around in circles, that ultimately we're still who we are inside. And I think that this lesson has just taken us back for a moment, delayed us only for a moment on this little inconvenient detour to really incubate our energy again, our light warrior energy again. It's like, yeah, we can be light workers, but at this point in time, so many of us are called to be light warriors, not to go to war, but there are many ways to be a warrior. And part of that is to be, I love the word I'm just going to say it. Other people can swear on their channels, so cover your ears, innocent souls. Yeah, to make ourselves unfuckwithable. It's like getting back to who we are, to our full light and potential here. Anything else from this deck? I feel like there's maybe one more. This one. The seed reminded me of how, somebody has tried to hold us down, to hold us back, but ultimately we are the seed. They pushed us under the ground, tried to throw dirt on us, but ultimately they didn't realize that they were just helping us by squeezing us, by suppressing us. They really just helped us to hone our gifts, to go back within the selves, to incubate our true potential. And we see how the seed, okay, check this out. So the seed, with all of this vibrational resonance, like dropping a pebble into the water, how it ripples forward. It's the same type of a way when we plant that seed and give it water and create the perfect environment for it to grow and thrive. It takes the seed, the star seed perhaps, to break forth from the confines of the boundaries of its container, right? It's like the human container, the human dimension, that this allows the star seed to have the perfect awareness and the perfect lessons to overcome some type of human dimension, to see beyond the confines of the material plane, and to be able to witness the self in this full glow up. It's like, so yeah, they pushed you under the soil so that you could incubate in this womb phase, to recreate yourself, to become aware that everything isn't going to be just handed to you. It's not going to be just easy, that we had to go back and reevaluate the self, how we allowed certain things to persist, and to take back that full power. And so as we were deciphering this is that seed in the middle coming through. Playing with the light here, it doesn't matter, you see it. There's that center there, and it's like that quantum energy field surrounding the seed is the riddle. It's like, why do we have to go through these situations on repeat? It's part of the process. It's part of the quantum bridge that we are between spirit and matter. The prayer underneath the deck. So you've been manifesting something all along here. Something else wants to show. The siren. So yeah, you've been tempted by these lessons, by this competitive spirit of trying to figure out the riddles of life here, but you've figured out something. You've avoided the temptation for indulging and continuing this old cycle, and you're manifesting something different. You've been incubating that power, and your prayers are being heard and answered. And it's part of that prayer is to witness how we have to dig ourselves out of something in this way. So I know this deck gets me sometimes into a little bit of trouble with timing because it's so deep and takes me in so many different directions, but I want to get a couple from this Dreams of Gaia deck, especially with that prayer. It's like some type of dream has been suppressed or repressed, and our prayers are being heard. It may be with a romantic adventure, and then like the womb and the lover here, it's like we've been tempted to stay where we're at, but there is more to life than being in a comfort zone or being part of what this individual wants us to be for them type of an idea. So under the deck, we have this, it's like a medicine wheel. There's soul contracts, earthly elements. It's something like the wheel of the year here. And with this mini deck, I don't get the words that tell me what it's supposed to mean, but to me it means something about healing our energies with the wheel of the year, the timing of things, leaving certain soul contracts behind for something new. And the ones that flew off, it looks like we've got 3 of them here. We have, and you know, the spider did not visit us for just no reason. The last time a spider card came out in this deck, I do believe I was sitting back here and we had the spider come out in the cards and previous to starting the message. So look at this individual. She's this she, he, you viewer is what this represents, the wisdom. And look at how she's quite pleased there with herself. She's been under this cloak of her own, perhaps incubating and hiding her magic from someone in particular, because there has always been the awareness that something was not quite right. So somebody thinks they know you here, but they haven't seen anything of who and how you are. Your magic is something that is indecipherable because they don't even believe in magic. They just believe that if they tell you what you say, like a parrot, then you'll believe that they know what you know, because magic is magical thinking to them. And so they think that they've fooled you in some type of a way, and they just want to get back into your good graces here. But yeah, you're surrounded by protection in so many ways. I don't know if you have a black cat or if you used to have a black cat, maybe thinking of having a pet. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, owl may be an important totem, but she's holding this stone, and I feel like that's what's coming in the next few cards. That one is the 22, master number 22. Under the deck, we had the 11, so we've got 11, 22, then we've got 10. These are also elemental. Let me see what we've got. This one is a major arcana, number 22. And so it's really talking about, you know, the journey beyond the world card. Like what happens when we finally achieve the fool's journey, the hero's journey, and surpass that, quantum leap into the next realm. And after we close out those old cycles, we get back into that stuff is going to fly away here, into the 22 card of mastery and co-creation, because 22 is combined energy, it's synergy. And so somebody here may be more of a hierarchical thinker, in contrast to you being more of an inclusive, multidimensional thinker, where you can consider elements that don't even exist, influences that are behind the scenes, under the surface. You might be able to pick up on vibrations that are not even evidenced. So the next card here, this number 10 of fire, is you coming more fully online. Look at that fiery energy and the chakras being so aligned, that halo energy, excuse me. I feel like that's here. It's like you being coming back into full alignment with who you are, shining brightly. That seed is in the quickening phase. And so then, oh, and they're holding this scroll here in by my finger here. To me, this is all quite interesting. It's like burning away parts of the soul contract that you've already achieved and mastered, and saying, okay, now I see you. Now I see you. I'm ready to stop tolerating the intolerable just by where I give my energy and attention. And not everybody earns our attention if they've been disrespectful, if they have this energy in any type of a way is an insult to our person or to our soul essence, if it's exploitative, betraying, and all of those type energies, if it's undermining, invalidating, then it's time for us to just burn away that and embrace the new. And so, yeah, I just love the imagery here of just really witnessing who you are and what you deserve more fully. And then here we have this card. So with the womb, the lover, and the prayer, you may have been simply manifesting your own rebirth process, that you witnessed that some injustice was at play. And look at the snake. How did I just miss the snake? It's the cosmic egg here, and the incubation of soul in body on a large scale. But it's also for those of you where a rebirth of energy in your life is taking the form of a physical birth or pregnancy. If that is something that you've been manifesting, don't give up on your dreams. Don't be confused by all the opinions out there. Your soul path is yours alone. Let's get a few from the excuse me, I've got this throat thing going on. I'm telling you, if I don't show up for a few days, it is definitely because I will be holding my energies for my health and healing, saving my energy for self. It's not selfish to take back your energy from things, like I love showing up for you all, but right now, it's not like the channel owns my energy. And I think that to a large extent, please forgive this if you feel like it's some kind of conspiracy, but ultimately, just like on The Matrix, the movie The Matrix, it's kind of like there's a repression, a suppression, a separation of individuals' soul essence from their material distractions for a very real reason, because to keep people separated, to keep the fighting going, it separates us from our power and from our beauty and grace and from our ultimate healing. And if we become powerful, we become un-F-withable, and then we won't fall for stuff like we do otherwise. We won't want $200, $500 shoes and handbags because it's garbage. And so I feel like part of that is also the siren card here. And I feel like I was going to say something else, but let's keep moving. Third eye chakra, definitely surpassing any type of illusion here in this realm, to take back the full power and soul embodiment process here. Let's see, underneath the deck, communication with third eye chakra. Your messages are trying to come through loud and clear. And if you take this separation, if you take time for self, as soul time comes out, crown chakra, consciousness, yes, there is a huge message trying to come into you, the answer to your prayers, or some type of guidance on discovering the way through. I love watching my ducks. They are so adorable. Sorry for that tangent. Yeah, so consciousness. You may be also one of the light warriors that feels that you're here to help others with the keys that unlock their consciousness, as I just saw 2929 on the counter, which reduces to 1111. Yeah, third eye chakra and crown chakra are opening up the awareness to higher consciousness. And that's what we're seeing as we bring in that full power as the seed, as the soul Kundalini energy begins to rise up and climb up the ladder, the tree of life ladder, into the realms beyond the third eye and the crown, into the soul star awareness. This seems quite profound, and I feel like my words are so oversimplifying a process that for each of us has been so profound. And I'm hearing that we need to not take for granted the whole process of whatever hardship or distraction or the detour that we've just been on, that's part of the magic that's been at play for us. It's part of the protection that we are able to witness these things happening so that we can bring them to the attention of those who didn't necessarily break through as fast as we did. Some people are still needing to have more direction in this regard, and we have cracked through some type of deep awareness here. Okay, yeah, under the deck is Cosmic Flower, and that is a literal DNA upgrade when I read that card, and it has to do with those Cancerian energies that came through. And come to think of it too, we just had the new moon at the time of this broadcast. You may be watching this as timeless, but whatever. We just had the new moon preceding the eclipse. We've got an eclipse, lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, ending up some huge, old, repressed, karmic, spiritual soul cycles in our lives, graduating fully, taking full accountability for what we've tolerated, and being able to witness why it was necessary. And that is where we take this graduation step, and where the seed takes that quantum leap in consciousness and recognizes that its soul blueprint has always been to become a flower. Do you see or hear that incredible wind kicking up? That's where we recognize that our soul blueprint is part of our bloom cycle. And, some seeds have to sit in the soil for a whole season. Some have to sit in the ground for over a few years. Bamboo takes like 3 years before it starts to move. And that's where we're at, ending these larger cycles in our lives for a very important reason. So I'm going to probably get cut off here, but I wanted to see if I would have time for one of these Kelly Kuan Yin cards to finish up our reading. Let's see, anything else? Keep yourself blessed and self-possessed, healed up, prayed up, whatever you do to manifest. You are not what the suppressors, oppressors would have you believe. You're here for a reason. 33. Princess of the Autumn Harvest, number 22, to double down on that. Look at you playing that lute behind your head. You don't have to look, and you're happy. You're releasing something extreme, and it's like a weight off your back, and you're really like dancing, like skipping. That weightlessness is coming through, and you're able to really witness how much of your harvest is coming through at this time. Veil of shadows. Yeah, you are stepping through that veil. Any type